To be fair, I think that was a pretty valiant attempt. Yeah, valiant defeat. We did a lot of damage. We killed like over 3 times the amount of dudes we had. Deepwood Scouts actually really paying off. Also the Hawk Riders there, 119 kills is pretty damn good. Ben just says, how does one shoot arrows when they have no arrows? That is very true. Maybe they just have one left over for whenever they're going to charge. They know that inevitably they have to charge. He just had one, he found it on the ground. Maybe he picked it up as he ran towards them. Who knows? What did they do? Sack it? Why did they sack it? That probably was worth nothing. It just like severely wrecked their armies. They're so doomed. Never says, I don't remember, but do eagles give leadership buffs? I'm honestly not sure. Maybe that's a thing. I don't use eagles enough because I find them pretty useless. Alex says, hey Vulcan, I was upset for the loss of Wargame on the channel, but over time I have forgiven you. Loving the Warhammer videos. Thanks, Sky. Oh, thanks, dude. Much appreciated. Yeah, I am going to do some more Wargame. I actually am going to record one tomorrow. It's just a replay that I have. So it will be on and off, let's just say. Let's go ahead and auto-resolve this battle. And we will release the captives for a little bit of extra cash. That actually gave us a lot of loot. Like after battle loot. Oh no, they took 68 wealth with them. What will we do? Why would they sack that? It makes no sense. And the thing is, after sacking it, is that if I just repair it, I get that entire garrison back, which is just ridiculous. Okay, so Great Eagles, they don't give buff to units around them, but they do cause fear. Alright, Durthu's gonna siege Wurtbad for us. Actually, we can just attack it straight away because, of course, Durthu can just smash on the gates, so let's go ahead and do that. Auto-resolve. We will raise that. Actually, maybe we should sack and seed. Yeah, we'll sack and seed. That actually completed the first part of his quest as well, which gives us an extra 1,500 to the treasury. Now we have to have 3 Treekin units in Durthu's army. Okay, we can actually do that. Now that we can recruit Treekin, I'm going to recruit more from Waterfall Palace once he comes back round. Right, so let's go ahead and take Wurtbad. We'll seed that. And it's very tempting to get the wine resource because wine is pretty expensive in terms of trade as far as I'm aware. But we are just going to go for the Waystone, I think, here. And of course, repair that. We will level them up. And we will level up Catra as well. Cool. Jaslaith did level up from his first ever battle. And the good thing about him is he does have life magic, which is very cool. So we're going to go for that life magic. We'll go for Awakening of the Wood. We'll go for Life Bloom and all that kind of stuff. The thing is, it pretty much means that we never actually have to make a branch wraith in our new armies, unless, or at least a life-based magic branch wraith. We'll probably go for like death or whatever. I'm not entirely sure if you can recruit different types of them. Let me see. No, I think they're all the same, but they do have that sort of death magic, which is quite nice. Like if we look at Catra, he has the Withering, the Penumbral Pendulum, Earthblood, Shield of Thorns, and Smoking Smoke and Mirrors. These 3 will be available in our initial leader, but we can have them for just the Withering and the Penumbral Pendulum in our armies, and then just make them like melee combatants. That would be pretty badass, and just have a bunch of branch wraiths extra, because that Penumbral Pendulum is very, very good. Either way, that will be all for now. We will ignore that settlement upgrade and move to the next turn. Zephyr said, Wood Elves get faction bonuses for fighting in the woods. That is definitely correct. But you have to select them on your leaders. You have to choose to have those buffs, and generally I avoid them because 9 times out of 10 you're not actually fighting in forest. But I think in general they get a buff as well, just as a faction trait, which is a nice little help thing. But like I said, most of the time you're not actually fighting in forest, so yeah. So we're sorting out the corruption here actually quite nicely. We're going to move down to Helfhime though, and crush that now. I might also go to war with the Von Carsteins just to remove the vampiric corruption from this land. That's a good point actually. We might get Straslith to wander over here. Even though he doesn't have that much of a decent army, I reckon we could still definitely just move him over to Wetbad and have him sort things out there for us in terms of vampiric corruption. Settlement upgrade is going to be ignored, and we will carry on. So the idea here is to attack Averland and destroy them. We might go and destroy the dwarves straight after, and then sort of go back towards Athelloren and defend the tree against the upgrade. I'm pretty sure they attack every time. I'm not entirely sure if it's every time. I think it might just be later on, but we should be there just in case anyway. The other thing you guys are saying about forest battles is generally when you're choosing your fights, the AI doesn't purposefully stand in a forest a lot of the time, so it kind of is annoying. That's why I don't particularly enjoy the forest side of things. We're just going to do nothing with this Asir Druki. Carried by elegantly hewn ships, our cousins have travelled from the distant lands of Ulthuan to visit us. After so many long years, they have finally deigned to visit their forest brethren. Is this a gracious visit or an omen of arrogance? Do you consider this a slight or a blessing? So we'll deny them audience, just because we don't want the -4 public order in all provinces, and our income from trade isn't that high yet, so that extra 25% isn't going to make a massive difference. So Durthu is going to go ahead and attack Helfhime. I think honestly what I'm going to do is actually have some towers for this, because if we don't, our dryads will suffer quite badly on the walls, I feel. However, we might be okay. Glade Guard do a lot. I think it's best to get a couple towers at least. It's gonna take 3 turns, not too bad. I could even get Straslaith to come over and just give us a quick hand. In 3 turns he'll be there to help out, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Zephyr says, I believe Vulcan thinks we're talking about cinnamon battles. Again, in terms of wood battles, no, I do know what you mean by like these wooded areas on the map, but like the enemy doesn't sit in them. Like they just don't move around in the woods. Like it's fine in terms of like around Athel-Loren because there's a lot of forest, but if you look at the Bretonnian lands, like your forest bonuses mean nothing in those battles because there's no forest. Quite simply. Okay, Averland kind of running away from their enemies there. We do have Helfhime to destroy, and then we'll move down. I think we might actually raise Helfhime and then recolonize it. Especially considering I don't think there's going to be a massive army that can maybe attack Durthu straight after. Okay. Heavens or the Underworld. The Asrai wish to erect a new shrine within Athel-Loren to give praise to the gods they so faithfully serve. Yet the question is posed, to whom should this shrine be dedicated? The 2 frontrunners are Assyrian or Cain, yet ultimately the choice is yours. Do you wish to honour the Phoenix King Assyrian, the wise and just ruler of the Elven Pantheon, or his brother Cain, harsh and ruthless god of battle? Extra melee attack for all forces, or extra income. I think we're going to go for the extra melee attack, honestly, because we're just about to attack Helfhime. Should get more than enough cash to continue after like raising Helfhime to make that financially viable. We're going to move on to the next turn again though. We've got like 3 more turns of income, but we only need like 1 more turn I think, or 2 more turns until all of our siege towers are finished. Oh, you guys are talking about like in the battle if I fight in forests. Okay, fair enough. Even then I would say that the forest bonuses aren't that good. Especially considering that you don't want to fight in a forest because your archers can't fire through trees. Which is a prime part of the Wood Elves for sure. It's a lot like the High Elves. You actually don't want to play around trees too much. Very counterproductive. I think the Way Watchers do pretty well because they're pretty accurate. But like your general Glade Guard will just hit trees all the time. The Von Carstein faction has been destroyed. The fate of the body. As with all things of the natural world, a denizen of the forest has shed their mortal shell and become one with the woods. Yet the question remains how to honour the body now that they have passed. They could be sacrificed in the flames, immolated as Orion is each year, a warrior's pyre, or the body could be planted deep within the ground, allowing the hungry roots of the deep wood to draw strength from the mouldering remains. Again, we're going to go for the leadership over the recruitment costs just because we're about to have a battle. So we've got some pretty awesome effects going on at the moment. Has Durthu got his power yet. No, he hasn't. He will get it next turn, but Stress Lathe is basically here. So I guess we'll just do the march and get him nearby. Should probably just do the normal walkies over there. Stress Lathe come to help Durthu out with that attack. And that's one more turn and we will attack. What are you saying? Why would you not fight in the trees? It gives you a faction melee attack and defense bonus as well as accuracy bonus. It's just quite simply whether or not it's convenient. Because you don't want your archers, no matter how accurate they are, deep in woods, because they won't hit anything. That you could have them on the edge of woods, like if you were to do like an ambush and they had them standing on the edge of the woods so they could fire out of the woods, that works. But again, it's very sort of situational, I would say. Probably the best way to put it. We're not going to give them that peace treaty. They would like a non-aggression pact. Talabek land. I think they like us a lot because we have destroyed Helfhime quite significantly. Widriath declared war on the Crooked Moon. I'm assuming that's because they were in their lands, so maybe they destroyed their army. That would be pretty good to see, because I might just kill the Crooked Moon if I can. Get rid of another faction to deal with. Have a look. Sure. We can get the Potion of Foolhardiness here, but that will give us Chaos Corruption in all provinces for 4 turns, or we can deny their requests. That's for the Dreaming Wood. I believe it's a Glade Lord wishes to go into the Dreaming Wood to recover a lost artifact. We're going to deny that request. We have low funds. That's okay. Swishy's asking in the chat, when are you streaming till tonight? We got another few hours, 3 hours or so more. Right, here we go. We're going to quick save it, and we will fight this on the battle map. We have 4 siege towers, and that will allow us to get some of our dryads straight onto the wall, which will be good. And then we'll just have all our archers line up and start peppering them. We're going to have Strasslaith come in and maybe use some of his life magic, although I'm pretty sure Kadra, our branch wraith, will be doing most of the damage with the penumbral pendulum. Hello everyone, by the way, and welcome to the stream. Start going on with the Battle of Helfhime now. It'll be a pretty close one, honestly. The garrison and the occupying army combined is actually quite a lot of troops. I don't know why they always start with the clay guard in these towers. We're going to put the replenished units of dryads in the towers, and we're probably going to attack this far left side because it's closest. Like if we attack this right side, we'd have to push the towers longer, although I say that the deployment line actually moves forward, so that's not the case. But I think we're just going to go for this this left side. We'll have everything just run across here in terms of our reinforcements. I think we're okay. We'll have one the right side of the tower, one the left side of the tower, one left side of the gate, one left side of this tower. A tree can just go knock on the gates with Durthu. And I'll get our branch wraith to do that same as well. Might gamble for more wins. That worked out as well. Nice. Wow, we went up to 23. Start the battle there. So yeah, Treekin, Durthu, and our Branch Wraith can go knock on the door. We're going to do this with the towers. Get our archers to run up into range. I don't want them to be in the line of sight of this tower though. And I probably should actually retreat my Wild Riders into these woods. So let's do that. Right, Stresslathe has arrived. One of our tree brethren come to give us a hand with his little band of dryads. Let's go ahead and run over to the left side there. But they do have handgunners in the front, which are going to do a lot of damage to my Glade Guard actually. Zephyr says, can Dryads Vanguard deploy if attached to towers? I don't believe they can. We probably need these archers to not focus down the Empire Captain there. We're probably just going to focus those handgunners. Wow, those handgunners are deleting my Way Watchers there. That's pretty legit. Right, so I'm going to delete their handgunners then. And get all of our archers on target there, take them out slowly but surely. As soon as our Dryads get up on the walls, we should be in a pretty decent spot. Cool. So that's going to get rid of those anyway. And we're going to have these Dryads climb up on the walls here. Right, let's get the Crowstorm down. I might also buff up these Dryads so they can continue to smash on through. Right, my extra Dryads on their way. The Way Watchers definitely got chunked. Enemy gates destroyed, so we can charge on through. We can have Durthu pretty much take on like their entire army. Along with our Treekin, of course. I'm going to hit the Pistoliers with my missile, if I can. I actually killed off 3 of them. It's not too bad. We're going to go for the Crowstorm though. It's going to affect a lot of these units actually on the walls. I think the main issue here is that Durthu is just getting hammered by these Pistoliers. Maybe we have to do like a penumbral pendulum through these in order to kill them off. Currently we're taking on the two-handers, the great swords. Let's have Stresslathe come through here and join Durthu. All his Dryads can just charge through the center. I'm not sure these units are doing too much. I'm gonna have to move forwards and maybe they can fire over in an angle. Or on an angle. Let's say. Right, these ones can just come down and attack the Pistoliers, I think. Because they're not actually doing anything on the wall there. If we can stop them firing, that's good enough for me, I think. Lovely, we're doing quite a lot of damage here. We'll go down to the gate. The Stresslathe coming through with Durthu. Lovely stuff. Looks so damn epic. Maybe get a decent Crowstorm down here. That just does so much damage. It's actually ridiculous. The tree king gonna smash into the back of my sword, or those swordsmen there. Dryads hitting them from the other side, that would definitely affect their morale. Right, the halberdiers on the walls as well, they're not doing too well against the dryads. Durthu's still doing very well. Gonna fire through to these pistoliers with the missiles. I might have an awakening of the wood come down as well. Oh, that missile absolutely wrecked those halberdiers at the back there. They weren't even targeted. Oh, here comes the missiles from the outside. Oh, it's just so damn cool. These wood elves, literally 6th sense with their arrows. It's nuts. Hello, Crafty. Alright, let's carry on. Move all these chaps forwards. That's all of their missile units. Let's get our missile units into the settlement now. Need to get our initial dryads off the walls. Yes, Strasley. May as well heal everyone while we're here. To be fair, that awakening of the wood actually does quite a lot of damage. We're getting pretty close to a chain route here. This is pretty nuts. Go for another shot onto those pistoliers. Go on, Durthu. Wreck him for me. Gonna keep charging through here. This is crazy. Look how many troops there are in that location. I could probably go for another awakening of the wood here. Yep. Good stuff. What's still alive? I mean, there's these units down here, these swordsmen. I might have like a couple of dryads just go help out the treekin. But our archers are getting up onto the walls pretty damn quick. We have some wild riders that are hanging out outside the settlement, but that's already a chain route. Didn't even manage to get them inside the settlement. These swordsmen are going to get absolutely torn to pieces as they run away. It's game over. For the Empire. Love it. I've been one asking about if I could play the Empire. Well, maybe. We might do an Empire playthrough in the future. It depends. I mean, I might do after this Wood Elf campaign. If Mortal Empires is still a big thing and you guys want to see it, then I might do like a Patreon vote or something, where you guys can decide what I want to do next. I might just set up a poll on Patreon. I might make it public though, so everyone can vote, and you guys can decide what you want me to play next. So that's 3,800. We get quite a lot from raising this. 29k. Don't mind if I do. Thank you very much. 29k. And we got the Sword of Anti-Heroes. Lovely. Alright, so we have Fencer's Blade on Durthu. The Sword of Anti-Heroes went on to our other lord there. I don't believe we have any extra stuff that we can give to Katra yet, because I would like to give him some stuff, but unfortunately he doesn't have any yet. Let's finish off that weapon strength bonus. And We want to colonize this straight after, so I'm going to do that. And that will enable us to get some replenishment. The replenishment might take a little while, but it's okay. Get the Astray lookout there. Why is there so many building slots in Helfhime? That seems a little broken. And Andeoth, Bringer of Fire is actually finished in the next turn. And Technologies of the Wood Elves complete really quickly. So we've got plenty of cash now. Can we upgrade the Waterfall Palace in any way? I guess we may as well just go for the Eternal Watcher's Garrison here now. And we can upgrade this to the Hall once you reach Population Surplus 3, which should be in about 5 turns. Okay, let's move on. So Aveland, they're not really going to do much from now on, I don't think. Grenstad will be able to be destroyed pretty quickly. We'll probably raise that as well. Then we can move on to Migdal Vongol Barak. And it might be worth keeping our new lord nearby Durthu and just like have them double team stuff, because that will level him up quite quickly. But at the same time, I brought him over to Wurtbad to sort out the vampiric corruption, so I think I might have to leave him there for now.